Hello there, vinyl community and YouTube, and hello there, Matthew Smith. You had the good taste of making a great Christmas contest, and I have been promising that I would do a response, and here it is. It was very, very interesting questions, so I will start doing them, and starting off with the top 1 to 5 Christmas songs. And I have a lot of great songs for Christmas that I like very, very much. Many of them are Swedish, and I'm not going to spend too much time by mentioning them. There are some great Swedish Christmas songs with a lot of feeling that I really, really like. I'm going to mention one that is very close to my heart, and it is a song called O helga natt, in English, O Holy Night. And I rather prefer it if it's been sung by an opera singer like Jussi Björling or something like that. Fantastic song, and with the right arrangement, it's a must at Christmas time. If I haven't heard O helga natt with Jussi Björling at least once, I'm not sure that I've been having a really good Christmas. Then I picked 6 songs total. Going to come back to this album later, but here is personifies the song All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey, who I have loved ever since I heard it the first time. A fantastic arrangement. Mariah sings so fantastic, and it's a really, really great song with so fantastic Christmas spirit in it. Number 3. Band Aid, Do They Know It's Christmas? Natural. Many say that it has been overplayed and is played a lot, but during Christmas time I want to hear this one. No doubt about it. It's a fantastic, marvelous, made by Mitch Ure, production by Mitch Ure is so fantastic. And I can take at the same time the next one, Band Aid 2 with Do They Know It's Christmas, made 1989. Those of you who know this might raise your eyebrows, but I definitely stand with the fact that I like this one. I like Stock Aitken Waterman because they are the one who had done this version, but I like this version very, very much, and I don't think we are many who likes this one, but this version. But I don't want to compare it to Band Aid one because they're so different versions. One sensible and one in disco version, but I like this one. I think it's a Christmas song that it's really, 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 really well done, fantastic, well done. The final one, no, not the final one, the second final one, I can't show because I don't have it in any physical format, but it's a song that I like very, very much, and that is very much Christmas for me. It's a Cliff Edwards singing When You Wish Upon a Star, and Cliff Edwards, of course, is the one who sang it in as Jiminy Cricket in the Disney Christmas cartoon. And it's fantastic, well done. It's old, it's so fantastic orchestra. I love this one. And finally, Bryan Adams, Christmas Time, one of the best pop Christmas songs ever. Totally fantastic, well made, marvelous Christmas song. So these were my favorite Christmas songs. Then I have not some others I also could mention. Pretenders, 2000 Miles, fantastic song. Swedish song Mer Jul, More Christmas by Swedish group Adolfsson och Falk, also fantastic, great song. Then you wanted to see top 5 to 10 Christmas albums. That one was very hard because I don't have all that much Christmas albums. It's not a genre that I collect all that much. So I have only 4 records that I think is worthy of showing as my absolute favorite Christmas albums. I already shown one, Mariah Carey's Merry Christmas from 1994. Much, of course, because of Mariah's voice, but it is a really great Christmas album filled with fantastic Christmas spirit. Then, more of the soul genre. Alexander O'Neill there, and his album My Gift to You from 1988. Also a great album that combines great dance and funk music in Christmas style with great ballads, sensible Christmas ballads. Fantastic Christmas album. Then we have 2 Swedish albums that I like very much. This is the album Tip Top, which was a Christmas album released in 1987, where Swedish musicians does newly composed Christmas songs. Many of them are pop artists, and they are not too much of the traditional with the jingle bells and so on. Much more of Christmas lyrics and really fun songs. You're having a great song called Tomtens klagan, Santa's Complaint, where singers Björn Skifs, famous for Blue Swede, and Anders Glenmark try to think how the Santa Claus are complaining of having to do this each and every year, of going around the world and give people presents. Very odd, little odd song, Christmas songs. I like this one very much because it's so odd. And then there is a Christmas album that I usually listen to every year. This might also raise some eyebrows of you who are from Scandinavia, but I like, it's not my favorite artist, but this is an album that is so wonderful arranged and produced that it oozes Christmas all over it, and I want to hear this one because it puts me in the real Christmas mood. And it's this dancing orchestra singer Stefan Borsch, who sings normally dance band here in Sweden. No, as I said, not my favorite singer, but this is by far the best album that I ever heard with him. And it's a Christmas album called Ikväll jag tänder ett ljus, Tonight I Light a Candle, where he sings traditional Christmas songs with a fantastic orchestral arrangements. So this one, I want to listen to this every Christmas to put me in the right mood. Top 5 to 10 Christmas episodes in show, which was even harder because they're also a genre that I don't watch all that much, and many of them that I watch are Swedish, but I have 5 that I have picked out that I like very much. There is a Christmas episode with Garfield the cat, where he and John and Odie goes to John's parents and try to celebrate a Christmas. I love that episode. I'll see it a couple of times. I think it's a fantastic Christmas episode. Then we're having a couple of Christmas episodes by The Simpsons. that I like very, very much. And I think my absolute favorite is the one that I think is the most ordinary. Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire is the normal title. And I have a little guide here with the Simpsons that I found at a secondhand store, written in English. And here is, if you can see the episodes, pictures from the episodes, so you can see what I'm talking about. It's the one there where Homer takes the job as a Santa Claus at the warehouse to get money to buy Christmas presents. Santa's Little Helpers first appearance in Simpsons. I love that one. It's a really, really special and odd Christmas episode. Then here in Sweden, at Christmas Eve every year, they are showing a Christmas fairy tale made by a Swedish too early deceased comedian Tage Danielsson, called Karl-Bertil Jonsson's Julafton, Karl-Bertil Jonsson's Christmas Eve. It's a kind of a modern Robin Hood tale, where a young 14-year-old kid gets the idea of taking Christmas presents from the rich people and give it to the poor ones on the streets. And it is fantastic, great cartooned show that I like very much, and I want to see this one every Christmas. It's Christmas for me. Then I'm a huge fan of Walt Disney's cartoons, and of course there are some there who is a couple of real favorites. Having a cartoon called Mickey's Christmas Carol, who of course is a version of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, with Uncle Scrooge playing the part of Ebenezer Scrooge. Fantastic one, fantastic Christmas show that I like very, very much. And it's fun to finally get to see Uncle Scrooge in Walt Disney cartoon. And finally, we're having Donald Duck and a cartoon short that he made that was also nominated to an Oscar, if I'm not all that wrong, called Toy Tinkers, where Donald and Chip and Dale are having a fantastic fight, or a real war between the Christmas presents. Fantastic, funny show. So I'm not seeing all that much Christmas shows, but I like these ones very much. And if some rich guy would give me much money so I can buy whatever I want for Christmas, or if he wants to give me Christmas presents, what would my pick be? I have picked out 5 things. Number 1, a vinyl box with all Lenny Tristano albums, complete Lenny Tristano albums. I don't think there is something like that existing, but it would be really fun to have it. Complete collection of Lenny Tristano in one box. Another room here would be fine, because I have a secret dream to one day make a real special record room, real musical room. Right now my records are sharing place in my bedroom, but it works for now. But I hope one day to have a place of their own for the records. This one is, I know that you said, Matthew, that sky's the limit, and here is really sky's the limit. But it would be so awesome to have a live recording with an interview with Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. That would be a really, really awesome thing to have. To have a recording where he plays himself and talks about how he composes and so on. That would be really, really awesome. A DVD box with all the American and British Grammy Awards from between 1985 to 95. Would be very, very interesting. Very fun to watch. I just recently watched the 1985's American Grammy Awards, who was someone put up on YouTube, and it was extremely fantastic show actually. So that would be really fun. And finally, all Depeche Mode bootlegs. There are tons of bootlegs with Depeche Mode out there, and they are very expensive. So it would be fun if someone would give me all Depeche Mode bootlegs existing to me as a Christmas present. That would be fantastic. So these were the first questions that you had. The final ones, where we was going to put together Ringo Starr, Richard Nixon, Santa Claus, Snoopy, and Jane Hathaway from that television show in one Christmas party, is going to be right after I've said goodbye. I have edited in the end. I had absolutely no idea who this Jane character was actually, because that show, as far as I know, hasn't been viewed here in Sweden. So I had to Google it to know who that person was. So I have written a little Christmas tale, a little Christmas fairy tale, just for you, Matthew, with this person's involved in it. And I may not be any J.K. Rowling or something like that. I may not be a Doris Lessing when it comes to writing, but I hope that you are satisfied with it anyway. It's a little bit filled with satire and comedy, and hopefully that you all will love it. So until next time, I hope that you all have a very nice continuing of the week, and you also, Matthew. Hope that you enjoyed this one, and sit right back and listen to a fantastic little funny fairy tale. And so long. It was Christmas time somewhere in a planet called Earth. Everything was beautiful, and the snow was glittering and stars were twinkling. Right there was a huge house where they were celebrating the joy of Christmas. The people at the party was a group of little different persons. There were former President Richard Nixon, his newly hired secretary Miss Jane Hathaway, and British rock star Ringo Starr. They were eating, drinking, and having a great time, and talked about all the things that a rock star, a secretary, and a president could talk about. All of a sudden, there was a huge knocking at the door. "Who is bothering us at Christmas Eve?" the president asked. "Miss Hathaway, will you open, please?" The energetic woman went to the door and opened it, and a large man in a red and white dress and big beard stepped in. It was Santa Claus. "Ho, ho, ho! Are there any nice children here?" Santa Claus asked. Ringo took off his round sunglasses for the first time, and his eyes were shining with happiness like a little kid. "Oh yes, Santa, I have been really nice this year. I haven't made a record during the whole year." Santa nodded fatherly, reached in his bag and gave him a package, all wrapped up in beautiful red Christmas paper. Richard was very impressed with the fine package and thought to himself, "If an old pop star can get that kind of present, what wouldn't I get, who has done so much as a president?" But when Richard looked at Santa, the bearded man said, "Mr. Ex-President, you have never been a nice boy. What about Cambodia? Not to mention Watergate." Richard couldn't believe what he heard. Wasn't he a nice man? No present for Christmas? "But Mr. Claus," Richard said, "I'm innocent to all these things. Everybody knows that. Please give me my present." The large man in red rose up, shook his head, and began to leave. But Richard pleaded for Santa. "Please, Mr. Claus, please!" Santa gave a huge sigh and reached in his bag and finally gave him a present. A box wrapped up in green paper, and Richard started to tear it up with huge excitement. In there was a house made of gingerbread. It was a small model of the Watergate house, all made of gingerbread. All of a sudden, a beagle came from the kitchen and looked at the four people. It was Snoopy, Ringo's new dog. He looked at the president, who with shocking eyes stared at the present, and his master seemed very happy about his brand new t-shirt with the words, "I was in the Beatles too." "Merry Christmas, everyone," Santa said, and left the house as Richard had a bitter look and asked the secretary and Ringo, "Anyone want some gingerbread?" Snoopy left the house and went to a little doghouse outside that had a little Christmas bone from Santa at a plate. He climbed up to the roof of the doghouse and began to dream about flying a soap-with camel in World War I. And then he could see a strange thing at the starry sky. It was Santa and his reindeers who waved goodbye for this year, just passing the star of Christmas.